everybody, and welcome to Home with the Halsteads. Today I'm going to be making a comfort food, a southern comfort food, chicken and rice. Now a lot of people call this purloo, and when I was growing up we had purloos, and I have very fond memories of that. At the end of the harvest season we would have a purloo and invite all the neighbors to come over. We would gather our tobacco and our peanuts, and I guess it was a means of celebrating and thanking everybody for helping us to gather our crops. But our parents would buy chicken or hens, or they would go out and butcher what they had grown, and they would put it in a big wash pot, cover it with water, put some salt in it, let it boil, and then take it out, debone it, put that rice in there, let it cook. They would stir it with a wooden stick, and you talking about good, that was good purloo. And I also have such fond memories of especially one of our churches that Doug pastored, Providence Baptist Church down at Wiggum. We had purloos, and I just praise the Lord and thank Him for all of those good memories that Doug and I have, and that our children, Carol and Sharon, have as well. Those were good days, good times together. Also, purloos are used a lot of times as fundraisers. It's a very inexpensive meal to prepare, and when there's a need and people need to raise money, if someone has been sick or for a special project, they'll have a purloo and sell tickets, and people can go and pick up a plate and enjoy it when they get home. So there are just lots and lots of ways to use purloo, but today I'm going to be making some chicken and rice in my kitchen, and I'm going to start out by using a half a chicken. Today I'm going to use both white meat and dark meat. So I have my pot here that I'm going to boil it in, and I'll take it over to the sink and I'll wash the chicken and I'll put it in here and I'll put some salt on it. Then I'll put it on the stove and let it boil. Once it gets tender, then I'll take the chicken out and I'll debone it. Take the bones off, take the fat off, the skin, and I'll have my chicken. And then I'll have this good rich broth that I'm going to put my rice in. I'll put my rice in, let it begin to cook, and then once it gets almost done, I'll add my chicken back. I'll put salt, which I've already salted, and I'll taste it for salt, and then I'll put some black pepper. That's what makes it really, really good. And that's all that I put in my chicken and rice, and it's so good. You want to be sure and save some broth in the event that your rice gets too thick and you need it more juicy. Then you just add a little bit more broth, and that's what I do. And I like for mine to be wet, because if you have some left over and you warm it up, then you're going to need that broth in there to make it good when you warm it over. But it's good leftover too. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to go over and get my chicken all ready and get it on the stove and make us some good chicken and rice today. Okay, our chicken is done. It's tender and it's fallen off of the bones. So I want to show you step by step what I do next as far as finishing up and preparing my broth. I'm going to take this little spatula here that has little holes in it, it'll drain, and I'm going to lift my chicken out of the broth, and I'm going to place it in this glass bowl. I had two pieces here. This is a good amount of chicken to go back in our chicken and rice. Now, I'm going to take a paper towel, and I'm just going to lay over this chicken, because it will allow the heat to still come out, but it'll keep my chicken moist while it cools enough for me to handle it and to debone it. So I'm just going to set that aside. Now the next thing that I want to do, and this is really, really important, I call it cleaning the broth. You know when you cook chicken, how little particles will come out of the chicken and it'll get up on the side of the rim of the pot that you're cooking in? Well, I don't like that. I like to start my finished product in a clean pot. So what I'm going to do next, I have a colander here and I have a pan. So I'm going to very carefully take my broth and I'm going to strain it through this colander. Okay, and you can probably see, I hope you can see, you might not be able to see, that this pot needs cleaning. So I'm going to take it over to the sink and I'm going to wash it and then I'm going to start all over. But I'm going to finish up my broth. Just going to strain it out like that. And I'll take this over to the sink as well. So once I get this cleaned up right here, and I'm going to go wash it right now, then I'll come back and I'll start over with my broth and my rice, and I'll work on my chicken. And making this is a process, but I promise you it will be so delicious if you'll just take a few extra minutes and do these steps. So I'll see you in a few minutes. I've washed my saucepan that I'm going to make the chicken and rice in, and I'm going to add 2 cups of rice. I think that'll be about right for the amount of broth that I have. So I'm just going to kind of spread that out, and then I'm going to pour my broth over the rice. A lot of people bring theirs to a boil and then put their rice in, but I don't. I just go ahead and put my rice in and then turn it on and let it come to a boil. I have my chicken ready, so I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to turn the stove on and I'm going to turn it on high. And once it starts boiling, then I'm going to turn it down to probably 2 or 3, and I'm going to cover it and I'm going to let it cook for about 12 minutes. And then I'm going to add the chicken and cover it. I'm going to cover it to cook the rice, and then I'm going to take the cover off, add the chicken, and let it finish cooking. And when it gets done, I'll come back and show it to you. Our chicken and rice is done. We're going to let it sit here and settle and soak up this good broth, and then we're going to serve it. And tonight, I'm going to have green beans and some leftover pear salad that I had in the refrigerator, and we'll have some good sweet iced tea. And I will talk to you again really soon. I hope you make some chicken and rice real soon, and that you let me know in the comments how you do yours, and if you call it chicken and rice or if you call it purloo. I'll talk to you again really soon. Have a blessed day.